Hello, everyone, and welcome back to our crash course on morphology. In this lecture, we'll explore one of the most important foundations of word structure, free and bound morphemes. You'll learn how some morphemes can stand alone, while others need to attach to a base to create meaning. So, let's begin and discover how words are built from these tiny yet powerful building blocks of language. In this lecture, we'll explore how morphemes are classified and subclassified in English. Understanding this hierarchy helps us see how words are structured and how meaning is built. Then we look into the major types of morphemes, free and bound. This distinction shows which forms can stand alone and which must attach to others. Together, these classifications form the foundation of how words are built in English and how their meanings are shaped through structure. Now, let's begin with a question: who introduced the idea of classifying morphemes? Well, Bloomfield was among the first to systematically define the morpheme as the minimal meaningful linguistic unit. He introduced the idea that morphemes can either stand alone, free, or must be attached to others, bound. In his book Language, 1933, he defined morphemes as the minimal forms of speech that have meaning, and his examples clearly separate free and bound forms. But remember, Bloomfield did not invent the terms free and bound himself. He formalized and popularized the classification within the field of linguistics. Later linguists such as Charles Hockett, 1958, Eugene Nida, 1949, and Victoria Fromkin and Robert Rodman, 1983, continued and refined this classification in their works. These distinctions are now a standard component of morphological analysis in virtually all linguistic frameworks: structuralist, generative, and modern descriptive linguistics alike. Before we dive into the details of morpheme classification, let's first take a look at this image. This image presents the detailed classification of morphemes in English, showing how each type fits within the overall hierarchy. Morphemes are divided into two main types: free and bound morphemes. Free morphemes are further divided into lexical and functional morphemes. Bound morphemes include derivational and inflectional morphemes. Derivational morphemes have two forms: prefixes and suffixes, while inflectional morphemes include only suffixes together. This hierarchy forms the foundation of word construction and meaning in English. So let's get started. In linguistic analysis, morphemes are divided into two major types. The first type is known as free morpheme, and the second type is known as bound morpheme. In this lecture, we will represent free morphemes in red and bound morphemes in blue for visual distinction. Let's first discuss about free morpheme. A free morpheme is an independent word form that can stand alone and function as a complete word in a sentence. It carries lexical meaning and does not rely on any other element to make sense. For example, the word free is a free morpheme because it can stand alone and convey meaning. Similarly, words like book, mobile, run, sell, and happy can each function independently in a sentence and express meaning on their own. All of these words, and others like them, are examples of free morphemes. Next is bound morpheme. It is morpheme that cannot occur independently as a word. It must attach to a free morpheme to function in a sentence and to complete its meaning. For instance, the bound morpheme, I cannot stand alone until it is attached to a free morpheme such as man, forming the word manly, which can then function in a sentence and express meaning. Similarly, morphemes like ing, full, and ness are bound morphemes because they depend on free morphemes for meaning. When they attach to free morpheme like mean, they form meaningful words such as meaningfulness and can stand as complete expressions in language. Now, let's dive a little deeper into the types of free morphemes. There are basically two kinds of free morphemes. The first is called a lexical morpheme, and the second is known as a functional morpheme. Let's shift our attention to lexical morphemes. These morphemes carry the main content and main message. They also carry core meaning of a word. They belong to the open class of words, such as nouns, adjectives, adverbs, and verbs, which means new lexical items can easily be added to this category. Lexical morphemes represent ideas, objects, actions, or qualities, and are the words that give meaning and substance to our sentences. For example, book, happy, run, and quickly are lexical morphemes. Each of these expresses meaning independently. Book refers to a physical object, happy conveys an emotion, run denotes an action, and quickly describes the manner in which an action occurs. Because they can stand alone and carry meaning on their own, all of these words and other like these are examples of lexical morphemes. Let's turn our focus to functional morphemes. These morphemes serve a grammatical purpose rather than carrying major lexical meaning. Unlike lexical morphemes, they do not change the word's class or category. Functional morphemes belong to the closed class of words, meaning that new members are rarely added to this group. They include items such as articles, pronouns, conjunctions, and prepositions. For example, words like it and anon are functional morphemes. Each of these plays a grammatical role in connecting or relating content words within a sentence. A which is a functional morpheme functions as a pronoun and joins two ideas, and on which is also a functional morpheme shows a relationship of position. Although they don't carry strong lexical meaning, functional morphemes are essential for building the structure and coherence of a sentence. In our next lecture, we'll take a closer look at the types of bound morphemes. Derivational and inflectional will explore how derivational morphemes create new words and meanings through prefixes and suffixes, and how inflectional morphemes modify words to show grammatical relationships. So stay tuned for the next video in our crash course on morphology. Your room to learn is just a click away. Like and subscribe today.